Are you ready to tackle your next real estate adventure? Whether you're hunting for your first home or diving into big league land acquisitions, Array Real Estate is in your corner. At Array Real Estate, they are not just a real estate team, they are your agents for life. Array Real Estate's mission? To help you crush your real estate goals one deal at a time. Array Real Estate's roots run deep in the heart of the Pacific Northwest as proud alumni of the University of Idaho. With offices in Coeur d'Alene and Seattle, the team is here to give you a legendary real estate experience. Your success isn't just a goal, it's their top priority. Everything from cozy homes to land development to commercial spaces, Array Real Estate has you covered. They are all about making your real estate dreams come true with a dash of Vandal pride. Ready to make a move? Visit ArrayRealEstate.com and join the fun on Instagram at ArrayRE. Let Array Real Estate turn your dreams into wins. Array Real Estate, your go-to team for all things real estate and proud sponsors of Vandals Weekly. Array Real Estate will make real estate magic with you.
Vandals Weekly back for another week. We were off last week because so was Idaho. But we're joined now by Vandals senior defensive lineman, Sam Brown. Sam, thanks for being here, man. How's the bye week?
It was awesome. It was nice to recover, get a little bit of a refresher. Had a couple days where football wasn't totally my focus. Got to make it up to Spokane Valley, where I'm from, and hang out with family. And enjoyed the time off for sure.
Seems like a good time. I mean, I think bye weeks are probably always good if you're in the midst of playing a long season, but sort of like right in the middle of the year, it seems like that's like good timing for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think it gave us a good opportunity to almost baby little nicks or bruises for a couple days if you needed that, and so we could really hit the ground running 100% this week and the rest of the season, hopefully.
How would you evaluate us where you guys are at so far at almost the midpoint of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're exactly where we'd like to be. I think we've come back from too many games going, man, we should have won that one, or we should have, looking at our little mistakes that led to, our losses. And so I'm excited looking forward. I think everything we want is still in front of us, and I'd like to think that we haven't fired on all cylinders yet. So I hope it's coming in the next couple of weeks.
Well, you mentioned the close games. What do you think is the thing that can help you close the gap? Like, what are the things that you guys need to do to just get over some of these?
I mean, just as a whole, it's just there's little things here and there. Maybe one guy blowing in an assignment, or a missed tackle here and there, and field position was a struggle for us against Montana. Things like that are super fixable things. Just we got kind of it's usually one guy just making an error on a play that'll lead to big explosive for the other team. So it's just fixing up those little errors, and it's not like it's an effort problem or a physicality problem necessarily. So all fixable things.
Yeah, definitely, and you guys got to have a lot of confidence as a group as well, because I mean, watching you guys, you got a very talented team, and like you said, I mean, you play really hard. That's the number one thing that really stands out when you watch Idaho. So, I mean, you guys have to be still a confident group coming into the second half of the year, I imagine.
Yeah, totally. I think, well, and it helps that we know, we've done it at practice, and when we're firing on all cylinders, it's like poetry. It's really it's something that even my whole career here, I think our upside might be higher than any other team I played on, but it's just, getting those little things.
When it comes to just adjusting defensively, obviously Dan Jackson, a well-known and well-respected defensive mind, and now he's at South Dakota State. But Court Dennison comes in with a ton of prestige and an impressive resume as well. So what's the transition been like just under a new coordinator this year?
Yeah, I've loved it. I mean, I love Dan Jackson, and I loved his scheme. I think this scheme that we're running now is a little more defensive end friendly as far as especially for the guys we have who are a lot of our guys that now compared to last year, a lot of the guys last year could kind of just and not that we can't, but they were you wanted to get them ISOs, but now it's like we have more athletic, more schematic based minds in the room. So just being able to move and show different pictures, I think has been really fun for a guy like me who really likes that sort of schematic piece of football.
When it comes to this sort of the overall program transition, how would you describe it, and how have you been able to sort of rise to a leadership position within this with the head coaching change and everything you guys have experienced over this last year?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say it's more alike than it is different. I mean, Ford coming from ex-old staff, being the special teams coordinator, a guy I played for, made it really easy for me and the other old guys to kind of tell the help the young guys come along and understand the culture. And the difference in culture isn't that big, so really just uh, continuing the cycle and stepping up when you know what it takes. And uh, yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest piece of it.
Well, being here in Moscow the last 5 years, to me, as somebody that's covered the Big Sky for a long time, it's been awesome to see Idaho get sort of this revitalization, right? Like becoming a national power again, and being in the conversation, and you get these big rivalry games, and you guys are on national TV again. From your seat, what's it been like this watching it grow from Moscow out, sort of throughout the Big Sky?
Yeah, well, I think my first year here, I wasn't even sure if it could be done, and I came in and turned us around, and kind of getting a taste for it. Now it's all you want. You don't want to, you crave that feeling of winning games and having team success, and so, and that's like more of a personal stance. I think for the community, it's been awesome. I think our enrollment's up, stuff like that, like effects you wouldn't necessarily think of when you think of winning football games, but I think it's done great for the university, more programs as far as education, and so it's really exciting.
What's your favorite part about going to school there in Idaho and just living in Moscow?
Well, for me, I kind of like that it's close to home, so it's just far enough away where I don't feel at home, but I get to go back and visit, whenever we got time. That's one big part of it. The rest is just the people. I love the people in Moscow, and um, it's very safe city, and super nice people, and you start to know people just by seeing them on repetition. It's not all that big of a town, so I think that's my favorite part.
I mean,
Are you ready to tackle your next real estate adventure? Whether you're hunting for your first home or diving into big league land acquisitions, Array Real Estate is in your corner. At Array Real Estate, they are not just a real estate team, they are your agents for life. Array Real Estate's mission? To help you crush your real estate goals one deal at a time. Array Real Estate's roots run deep in the heart of the Pacific Northwest as proud alumni of the University of Idaho. With offices in Coeur d'Alene and Seattle, the team is here to give you a legendary real estate experience. Your success isn't just a goal, it's their top priority. Everything from cozy homes to land development to commercial spaces, Array Real Estate has you covered. They are all about making your real estate dreams come true with a dash of Vandal pride. Ready to make a move? Visit ArrayRealEstate.com and join the fun on Instagram at ArrayRE. Let Array Real Estate turn your dreams into wins. Array Real Estate, your go-to team for all things real estate and proud sponsors of Vandals Weekly. Array Real Estate will make real estate magic with you.
Is a will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
I mean, college town feel for sure, and they love the Vandals there too. So I mean, that probably puts a little bit of pressure on you guys, but also you probably love that part. Just every going out about town and people say good luck this week, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
What's your favorite spots in Moscow? Do you have like a go-to eat spot?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple really. I like my favorite is, and this is kind of activity based, but their food is great also. But Tapped is a restaurant, and
Yep.
yeah, and I'll go there for Trivia Tuesday every now and again. So that's always fun when we can get out there. Yeah, I mean, Breakfast Club for breakfast. Yeah, there's a bunch actually.
Well, very good. Well, when it comes to turning the page now, get back into Big Sky Conference play, got a much improved Northern Colorado team coming to Moscow. So, just early thoughts on the Bears?
Yeah, I mean they're a good team, and we're gonna have to. I think any given week in the Big Sky, if you don't bring your game, you get a chance of losing. So we're gonna come out and attempt to fire on all cylinders, and hopefully put a whooping on them.
I got to ask you about this because Jewelry Design Center is one of our fine sponsors on our Broad Big Sky Breakdown podcast, and you're marrying into the family there. But I saw a fun ad that it was like you wearing some jewelry, talking about Jewelry Design Center. So just tell me about that element. It's probably pretty fun for you to be able to endorse like a future family business.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Brian Toon, who's going to be my father-in-law, he hooked me up for the Big Sky Conference with
Nice.
a loaner watch for the weekend, which uh, I would not have had by myself.
Right.
So that's super fun, but also just on a personal level, just talking to them of what it means to have a family legacy business, and hopefully be able to contribute someday, joining the family. So just what it takes, and or learning how he runs things, and what kind of leader he is, and how he was when he was a football player as well, is just super interesting, and things you can take away to add to life and to football and all those sorts of things.
Well, definitely a rivalry between Montana and Idaho, and Brian, a former Grizz. So what's that going to be like at Thanksgiving in the future?
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I think while I've been here, he's been a little more of a Idaho fan than he's wanted to be. So that might change when I'm gone. But yeah, I think we'll always be kind of rooting against each other when we're playing against each other, but uh, wishing each other success or each other's team success when they're not. But it's not as it's it's kind of interesting when you play, you sort of are able to separate from the fan perspective of rivalries. So
Totally. I mean, that's the number one thing you always find out is just that players have such similar experiences no matter where you play, right? So you guys have massive respect for each
yeah,
other, right?
absolutely.
Like rivalries, the fans are the ones that get all mad, and I know a lot of guys that are good buddies that play for the Cats and the Grizz and Idaho and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, shared experiences certainly. Well, last thing for you, what's the goals then for your group and your defense and your team for the rest of the football season here?
Yeah, we'd sure like to finish number one in the league with Russian defense. We'd like to win a Big Sky championship and go compete for a national championship. I think those are kind of the defensive group's goals, the team goals, and my personal goals as well.
Tim, appreciate you doing it, man. Good to talk to you.
Thanks so much.
We'll be following along, but thanks for being here this week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any town pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Vandals Weekly returns after a week off because the Idaho Vandals had last week off. We're joined now by Thomas Ford, the head coach of the Vandals. Coach, what sort of things did you do to maximize the bye week?
I think we did a really good job in our bye week, just making sure that not only were we preparing for our next opponent, but we were competing, right? We were really getting some good on good reps. We did a little bit of tackling during the week. We kind of talked to the guys about, hey, it might be fewer days of practice than normal, and we don't have a game Saturday, so we're going to get after it on those 3 days. And I thought we did a really good job competing and getting those guys back in the right frame of mind to play a football game this week.
Well, it's an interesting balancing act between what you want to prioritize, right? Because you obviously want to get fresh. You want to stay sharp. You probably want to self-scout a little bit, but you also
Yep.
want to get ahead on the the next opponent too. So how
Yeah.
do you balance like sort of all those factors?
Yeah, I think you kind of got to go step by step. First, kind of what you said, starting with self-scout, taking a look at what we did well, what we need to improve on, and then from there, dive into your next opponent, start building a preliminary plan for that opponent, and then again, getting after it a little bit, trying to compete a little bit while trying to keep a lot of our guys that are banged up healthy. We did have some guys that were able to get fresh this week and should be running around a lot faster than they were a week ago.
Well, the Big Sky redid the way they did buys. It used to be that it was 2 teams per week over the span of 6 or 7 weeks. So
Hmm.
sometimes you'd have it like week 1 of conference play, and then
Right.
other teams wouldn't get it until mid-November. Now it's just 3 weeks in the middle of October. Everybody gets their buy. Is that better? Do you think it's more equitable?
I think so. I think anytime you can get your buy anywhere close to as close to the middle of the season as you can,
Right.
the better, right? I think when you have buys too early, now you've played a lot of games in a row, and the same thing if you have them late. So I think having that buy kind of mid-season-ish is a lot better for most teams.
Well, you mentioned being back in the dome. It's crazy because it's only been a couple games, but it's actually been like a full month by the
Yeah,
time you
almost
guys
a
have
full
been.
month.
I mean, like September 13th to October 11th, that's a long time to not play on your home field. So you guys must be excited to be back in the Kibby Dome.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got homecoming this weekend. It's always we feel like a great advantage to play here in the dome. And so we're just excited to be back at home in front of our home fans, and especially when it's homecoming and we got so many Vandals coming back to Moscow.
Well, when it comes to what you analyze self scouting wise, what sort of improvements did you identify that you wanted to work on moving into this week?
Well, I think defensively, we've just got to continue to tackle better. I think we're calling some good stuff. We're going to make sure that we, at least get some of our wrinkles in this week and try to combat some of our tendencies. But overall, defense, we just need to tackle better. I think that's probably our number one focus. And then on offense, just kind of seeing where we're run heavy, seeing where we're pass heavy, and trying to, kind of get out of those tendencies a little bit and try to, have some counters off of some of those tendencies as well.
When it comes to your offensive skill guys, you have a lot of young guys playing. Who have you seen emerge, and what do you think of the growth? I guess start with the receivers because I know you're playing a lot of young guys at receivers. So where have you seen that group grow, and who have you seen sort of emerge over these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, that was a very young group coming in, not a lot of experience in that room. But I do think those guys have gained valuable experience over the first 5 weeks. Ryan Jeziaro is a guy that really stands out to me. He's a guy that's a redshirt freshman, has done a really good job for us. Tony Harsty, he's a little bit banged up right now, but he is really starting to come on. Davion Superales is a guy that kind of surprised us a little bit when Tony Harsty went down in our game versus Montana. He really stepped up, but I think that whole room is maturing. We need to continue to have that room mature. They need to take another step this week and obviously continue to take steps throughout the season.
Super Alice he used to be a quarterback, right?
He was high school quarterback,
Yeah.
same high school as Joshua Wood, actually. He's actually the quarterback that came after Joshua. So fitting to have them playing together and Josh throwing it to him now.
Yeah, it's funny because Graham Kapowski just keeps coming up on my radar because of Josh. Obviously, he told me about his high school experience. Obviously, Super Alice, and then Jabez Woods, who's at Montana State.
Yeah,
He's having
yeah.
a great breakout. I mean, that program is turning out some real talent right now.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job there. I mean, uh, they've been doing it for a long time, starting with Coach Curley, and then it's since passed over and Coach has done a really nice job continuing that whole tradition of winning there. And I think that's a program that will continue to recruit as a result.
Yeah, it's a good program to recruit, no doubt. Thomas Ford joining us here on Vandals Weekly, probably presented by Array Real Estate. Running back wise, where are you at with that group? What have you liked just from some of the depth you've been able to cultivate, and who stood out to you through the first half of the season there?
Yeah, unfortunately, Art Williams was having a great season, but he's going to be out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. But we're going to get Eli Cummings back. He's been out for a couple of games. He should be returning in the lineup this week. Nate Thomas has done a really good job. I think, especially once those two guys were unavailable, he really stepped up and had a pretty decent game versus Montana. So with those two guys, we feel really good about it. Carlos Matheny's a guy that has stepped up. Hayden Kinchelow is another guy that stepped up. So I think that room is very deep. So, even though obviously we'll really miss Art, we've got a room that I think can weather the storm with our depth.
when it comes down to then preparing for this upcoming opponent, Northern Colorado, much improved, it looks like to me at least, and they look good defensively. So start there. What do you see out of the Northern Colorado defense?
Yeah, they've done a good job. I think they play really hard. I think they've done a great job doing their man coverage stuff. They play a bunch of man free, and I think they have a more simple scheme so their guys can kind of run around and play. And they've been doing that. They've done a great job. Just I wouldn't say stopping the run, but containing it. Making it so they haven't given up a ton of explosive runs. And again, they've done a great job down the field in man coverage. So again, it'll be another challenge coming in this weekend for sure.
Offensively, what have you seen out of Northern Colorado? What things have your attention?
They want to try to control the line of scrimmage. They'll be in plenty of 12 personnel, but they'll also open it up and get to some vertical passing game. I think that's they've had a lot of success this season with the vertical passing game, and so between their downhill runs and their vertical passing game, I think they want to be a north and south type of team, and have really had some success with that early on.
What are the number one things you'll be watching out of your team then, just in terms of points of analysis? And what are some of the keys of the game on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think defensively, we've got to be able to stop the run. We've got to do a much better job tackling, especially tackling in space, and we've got to create some turnovers and get to the quarterback. I think those are some things that we've got to do defensively. On offense, we've got to be able to run the football. We've done a good job, getting our 12 personnel on some of our big O-line packages. So we need to continue to be able to do that in the run game, and we've definitely got to be able to create some opportunities and win some one-on-one matchups on the outside as well. And so I think those would be the keys to victory on both offense and defense.
Excuse me, I said Saturday night, but Saturday afternoon there at the Kibby Dome. I just been in night game mode because I've covered like three in a row in person, but here we are,
Yeah.
for Idaho, Northern Colorado there at the Kibby Dome, homecoming there in Moscow. Last thing then, just homecoming and everything that goes into that must be fun for you to just see all the support and all the people coming back.
Yeah, homecoming is always a great time. You get a bunch of former Vandals coming back, checking out practice. We'll see a bunch of guys Thursday and Friday that'll be coming back into town. And so I think being able to, see those guys have shared experience with our players, it's critical, right? Like those guys have been through it. They've done what these guys are currently doing. And I also think it shows our players how important it is to a lot of people. We've got some great fans here in the Vandal Nation, and we're excited to get everybody back, whether they played football or not. We're excited to have so many Vandals back packing that Kibby Dome on Saturday afternoon.
Well, should be fun. We'll be following along certainly, and the best of luck on Saturday, Coach. Thanks for being
Awesome. You bet. Thanks, Colter. V's up.